Justice delayed is not justice denied. It is simply justice awaiting its perfect moment to strike. Chosen one, the wait is over. The clock has struck midnight, and the old year has crumbled into dust, taking with it every falsehood, every doubt, and every chain that sought to bind you. Welcome to 2025, a year that does not ask for permission but claims what it is owed. This is not just another year. It is a turning point, a seismic shift where the scales of justice tip, the tables turn, and truth marches forward like an unstoppable tide. The case is closed, and the verdict has been delivered. Victory is yours. For far too long, they underestimated you. Their lies spread like weeds in a garden, choking your light and robbing your peace. They mistook your silence for surrender and your patience for weakness. But silence is not emptiness. It is a reservoir, brimming with potential and power. Patience is not a sign of fragility. It is the coiling of a spring, the drawing of a bowstring before the arrow is released. And now, that arrow has been loosed, flying straight and true, piercing through every illusion they held dear. This is the year when the seeds you sowed in darkness bloom for all to see. The roads they tried to block are now paved with their regrets, and every obstacle they placed in your path has transformed into a stepping stone to your destiny. They laughed when you fell, believing it to be your end, but they forgot a fundamental truth. A diamond only shines after being buried, pressured, and polished. You are that diamond, and 2025 is the year you blind them with your brilliance. They mocked you, whispered behind your back, and built walls to confine you. But walls are not eternal. They crack, crumble, and collapse under the weight of truth. Your truth is undeniable. Every rejection they threw your way became fuel for your fire. Every closed door turned into a gateway waiting to be broken wide open. You have weathered the storms and stood firm through the chaos. Now, like the rising sun, your time has come. Justice does not knock politely. It crashes through gates. It is not gentle, nor is it kind. It is a reckoning. This year, it is pounding on every door that sought to shut you out. They thought they had buried you, but they failed to see that you were a seed. Now, as the new year dawns, the ground shakes, the soil splits, and you rise, stronger, taller, and more unshakable than ever. Thank you. Yes, you, the chosen one. Whether this is your first time here or you have stood steadfast with us on this journey, your presence and unique gifts fuel this unstoppable mission. This is your moment, your year to rise higher, to silence the noise, and to claim the power that has always been yours. If you are ready to step into 2025 with unwavering purpose, justice in your hands, and victory in your heart, let this be the moment you embrace the transformation. The trials you endured were not meant to break you. They were designed to build you. The challenges were not punishments but preparations. As you step into 2025, know this. You are not merely entering a new year. You are embarking on a new chapter, one written in victory, truth, and power. Justice has arrived. The case is closed. This year, the world will finally witness your unstoppable essence. The clock has struck, and time's up. The hour of reckoning waits for no one. It strikes when the truth can no longer be denied. Chosen one, the hands of the clock have delivered their final verdict. Time is no longer their ally. Every excuse, every lie, and every ounce of control they believed they held has crumbled. This is not just a new year. It is a line drawn in the sand, a moment when justice rises, unyielding and unstoppable. You have waited in the shadows long enough, observing as they twisted the narrative and buried the truth. What they failed to understand is that time does not erase the truth. It sharpens it, carving it into stone until it becomes undeniable. Why now? Why not before? Because justice does not rush. It waits for the moment when its impact is undeniable, when its weight is felt most deeply. Time has been your ally, not your enemy. While they schemed and mocked, time was quietly stacking the deck in your favor, preparing you for this moment of ascension. Imagine the sound of a clock striking midnight. Sharp, clear, and final. That is what they hear now. A bell tolling in the distance, signaling the end of their illusions. They thought they had forever to twist the narrative, play their games, and maintain their facade. But forever is a myth, and truth is a force that does not negotiate. The clock does not care about their excuses, arrogance, or schemes. It moves relentlessly forward until the moment arrives when there is no escape. This is your moment, your year, and your triumph. Let the world see you for who you truly are. Unstoppable. Welcome to 2025. The stage is set, the case is closed, and justice has spoken. Now let us begin. The moment has arrived, and it belongs to you. Chosen one, you may find yourself wondering, what does this mean for me? What should I do now? It means stepping into the time that has always been waiting for you, the time to cast aside hesitation, to leave doubt behind, and to act with unwavering purpose. This is the year where hesitation dies, and decisive action takes its place. They have had their moment to cast shadows over your path, but now the spotlight shines upon you. This is not about revenge. It is about reclaiming everything they thought they could take from you, your strength, your truth, your future. All of it is waiting for you to seize, and time itself bears witness to your ascent. Meanwhile, they are feeling the weight of their choices and the inevitability of what is to come. They can hear the ticking of the clock in their ears, a constant reminder that their games are over. The clock has struck, and their time is up. No more delays, no more detours. Justice is no longer knocking politely. It is kicking the door wide open. Welcome to 2025, your year, your time, and your reckoning. Their calendar stands blank, a silent confession, an empty record of dreams unpursued and battles never fought. In stark contrast, your calendar glows with golden purpose. Every day, every hour, and every moment of 2025 is etched in gold, each marking a victory waiting to be claimed. This is not just a year for beginnings. It is a year of declarations. While they scramble to fill empty spaces with hollow resolutions, you step boldly into a year that is already marked as yours. Their blank calendar speaks of missed opportunities, unfulfilled ambitions, and the paralysis of hesitation. They are weighed down by what they failed to accomplish, unable to see past the shadows of their own fears. But you, chosen one, have moved beyond such fears. Your calendar is not blank because every second of your past has been spent preparing, building, and laying the foundation for something unshakable. Each box on your calendar holds the seeds of triumph, planted in the years they thought you were standing still. They might ask themselves, how did it happen? How did I miss it? The answer is simple. While they wasted time, you mastered it. They treated time as an endless resource, squandering it on schemes, distractions, and empty victories. They failed to see that time rewards those who respect it, those who know how to transform minutes into milestones. And now, as they stare into the emptiness of their year ahead, they face a reality they cannot escape. Imagine their blank calendar as a map without a destination. It is not just empty, it is lost. In contrast, your calendar gleams like a constellation, each day a star leading you closer to your destiny. The golden ink that fills your calendar is not mere metaphor. It is the value of every lesson learned, every trial endured, and every victory claimed. It is a testament to your resilience, your vision, and your refusal to let doubt dictate your path. You might wonder, why does their emptiness matter? It matters because their blankness is not just theirs. It is their judgment. It is their silent admission that while they played games, you built an empire. Their doubts were never your limitations. They were their own. So let them sit with their blank pages, chosen one. Let them wrestle with the silence of a year they thought would belong to them. Your calendar is already filled with victories waiting to unfold, written in the ink of perseverance and truth. They will watch, stunned, as you turn every day into a masterpiece while their days fade into irrelevance. Their calendar is blank. Yours is written in gold. 2025 is your year to shine. Their confessions are laid bare. The blankness of their calendar reveals a year filled with schemes, lies, and attempts to hold you back. Every box they marked was a strike against you. Every whisper an attempt to undermine your strength. Every move designed to keep you in the shadows. They thought their calendar was a roadmap to your destruction, but now it stands exposed as a trail of failure. Their days were consumed by noise and distractions, and now the emptiness of their pages screams the truth. They have run out of moves, out of time, and out of excuses. Their calendar is not just blank. It is barren, devoid of victory, milestones, or purpose. It is a wasteland of missed chances and empty attempts to stop the unstoppable. Every scheme they plotted, every moment they spent hoping for your downfall, has left them with nothing. They spent their time writing chapters of mockery and arrogance, but 2025 has torn those pages to shreds. All they are left with is the hollow silence of a year wasted trying to keep you down. And you? Your calendar is anything but empty. It is written in gold. Every day a testament to battles fought and won. While they squandered their time, you filled yours with purpose. Their calendar was a weapon aimed at you, but it backfired. Every day they used against you became another stone in the foundation of your rise. As the new year dawns, the difference between you and them is blinding. Their blank calendar is a monument to hesitation and failure, while yours glows with purpose and triumph. This is your time, chosen one. Let 2025 be the year where every moment shines, every day counts, and every victory echoes into eternity. You might wonder, why should their blankness matter to you? Because their empty calendar is your vindication. It stands as undeniable evidence of their misplaced priorities and the proof of your resilience. They spent an entire year trying to erase you, but instead, they erased themselves. They believed their days of scheming would outlast your days of building. But time reveals everything. Now, their emptiness is a stark contrast to the brilliance of what you have created. Picture their blank calendar as a stage with no performance. The curtain has fallen, the audience has left, and they stand there alone, realizing the spotlight was never truly theirs. Your calendar, on the other hand, is not just full. It shines. It is brimming with victories waiting to unfold. Each day a declaration that you have triumphed, that you have risen above every obstacle they placed in your path. Let them stare at their blank pages, chosen one. Let them wrestle with the weight of a year spent chasing shadows and mocking your light. Their blank calendar is their defeat. Yours is written in gold, glowing with the triumph of a year not stolen but reclaimed. This is your time. They cannot fill their emptiness, but you are unstoppable. Welcome to 2025. This is your year, your rise, your reckoning. They spent the last year betting against you, and now they will watch as you cash in every chip they threw away. Chosen one, this is not just another year. It is your year, not merely a chapter or a season, but the entire book has been rewritten in your favor. 2025 is not here to ask questions. It is here to deliver answers. Answers to every doubt they cast, every sneer they gave, and every door they slammed in your face. This is the year of your rise, not as a whisper, but as a roar. This is the reckoning they never anticipated. They thought you would stay down. They believed their words, their mockery, and their carefully planted seeds of doubt would be enough to bury you. But they forgot, what is buried is not always lost. It is often growing, waiting, building. You have spent the past year growing roots in the dark, and now your rise is not only expected, it is unstoppable. The ground beneath their feet is shifting, cracking open to reveal the truth they tried so desperately to deny. Your strength is unshakable, your victory inevitable. You may ask yourself, why now? Why not sooner? Because every rise has its reckoning, and every reckoning has its perfect time. They needed to feel the false comfort of their so-called victories. They needed to believe they had won. But reckoning does not come when it is convenient. It comes when it is unavoidable. And now it is here and it is yours. Their stories are unraveling, their masks slipping, and every lie they told about you is now choking them as they face the truth. They were wrong. Picture this year as a stage, yours. Every spotlight points your way. Every seat is filled with those who doubted you, mocked you, dismissed you. But the curtain is not rising on just any performance. It is rising on your triumph. They are not the audience. They are witnesses to their own undoing. Your rise is not just a victory. It is their reckoning. The roles have flipped, the narrative rewritten, and you hold the pen. Their questions will haunt them now. How did we miss it? How did they rise while we fell? The answer is simple. They were too busy watching for your failures to see the foundation you were building. Every word they spoke against you became another brick in the fortress you have now claimed as your own. Every stumble they cheered was another step you climbed toward this moment. Your reckoning is not just for you. It is for every time they underestimated what you were capable of. This is your year, the year they realize you were not just surviving. You were rising. What now, they will ask when their lies have run out. What now, when your rise overshadows every scheme they concocted? What now, when the reckoning is not just theirs but yours? Let them sit with their questions, chosen one. Let them feel the weight of every moment they doubted you. This is your year, your rise, your reckoning. They cannot stop it, deny it, or escape it. Welcome to 2025. The countdown to their silence has begun. The loudest voices always fall the quietest when the truth arrives. Time does not shout. It strikes. Chosen one, the countdown is over. The noise they surrounded you with, the laughter they aimed like daggers, and the lies they wove into the air have all dissipated. Silence has taken their place. A silence that speaks louder than any words they ever uttered. They filled last year with arrogance, convinced their voices could drown out your truth. But here we are in 2025, and the only thing left of their noise is an echo, fading faster than their confidence. They believed their volume equaled power. They screamed your name in mockery, hoping their laughter would break you. But they forgot one crucial truth. Noise does not last. Truth does. While they spent their time throwing stones, you spent yours building walls. And now, as the clock strikes, their voices are trapped behind those very walls, powerless against the fortress of strength you have created. Their silence is not just an absence of sound. It is their reckoning. Picture their voices as fireworks, bright, loud, and fleeting. For a moment, they lit up the sky, burning with false confidence and empty promises. But fireworks always end in silence, leaving nothing behind but smoke. That is where they are now, choking on the aftermath of their own arrogance, staring at the truth they can no longer deny. Their countdown was not to your failure. It was to their own irrelevance. You might ask, why does their silence matter now? It matters because their words were never meant to define you, but their absence does. Their silence is proof that they have run out of lies to tell, out of doubts to cast, and out of games to play. The clock has struck. The countdown has ended, and now they have nothing left. Silence is not just their punishment. It is your victory. Imagine the countdown they never saw coming. Every second that ticked by last year was a nail in the coffin of their schemes. They thought they had time to rewrite the story to outlast your rise. But now time has turned against them. Every moment they wasted doubting you is now a moment they wish they could reclaim. But the countdown does not reverse, and neither does your momentum. Let them sit in their silence, chosen one. Let them feel the weight of every word they spoke against you, now hanging in the air like a storm that never broke. Their silence is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of your truth. This year, their voices do not matter. Their schemes do not count. Their doubts hold no weight. The countdown to their silence is over, and the only sound left is the roar of your triumph. Welcome to 2025, the year they go quiet and you rise louder than ever. Silence was never weakness. It was power waiting patiently, loaded and ready to strike when the moment was right. And now, as the clock strikes 2025, the shot has been fired. They are scrambling, silent, and reeling from the undeniable truth they tried so hard to ignore. Your silence was a loaded gun, and now the echoes of your triumph are deafening. This is your year, the year to rise, to claim, and to move forward without ever looking back. Let the silence remind them of one immutable truth. You never needed words to win. You were always unstoppable. Welcome to your moment. Welcome to 2025. Number 7. Your glow outshines the fireworks. Fireworks burst and fade, but true light burns forever. Your glow is not a fleeting moment. It is a legacy. Chosen one, this is the year when your glow becomes undeniable. While their fleeting victories lit up the sky for an instant, only to vanish into smoke and darkness. Your light remains. Steady, unshakable, and eternal. They tried to compare their flashes of arrogance to your steady brilliance. But now they are learning what they should have always known. Fireworks cannot compete with the sun. Last year they celebrated too soon. Every stumble they thought marked your end, every minor win they paraded as your defeat, was nothing more than a flicker, a momentary distraction. But distractions do not last. Their fireworks have faded, and now the only thing illuminating the night is your glow, rising stronger with each passing second. They are left in the shadows of their own emptiness, watching as your light fills the spaces they once claimed as theirs. Imagine a sky filled with fireworks, dazzling for an instant, demanding attention with their chaos, but gone before you can blink, leaving nothing behind but silence and smoke. That is their story, bright for a moment, forgotten the next. Your glow, however, is different. It does not scream for attention or explode for recognition. It is constant, undeniable, and impossible to extinguish. This is the light they tried to dim last year, the radiance they thought their noise could overshadow. Now they are blinded by what they could never destroy. They might ask themselves, why did we not see it before? The answer is simple. They never looked. They were too busy chasing flashes, mistaking noise for power, and ignoring the steady glow of someone who never needed to prove anything to anyone. Your light was never for their approval. It was for your purpose. And now, their fading fireworks only amplify your brilliance. You might wonder, why does your glow matter now? Because it is not just about lighting up the night. It is about revealing the truth. Their schemes, their doubts, their arrogance. All of it is exposed under the radiance of your glow. Fireworks can hide in the dark, but under your light, there is no escaping reality. Their fleeting bursts of power are nothing compared to the constant force of your rise. Let them sit in the shadows, chosen one. Let them watch as your glow continues to grow, outshining every fleeting attempt they made to steal your moment. Fireworks are for spectators. Your light is for leaders. Fireworks fade, your glow defines. This year, the sky belongs to you. Let them chase their flashes of noise and light. They will fade as they always do. Meanwhile, you will stand as the glow they cannot ignore, the brilliance they will never match. Welcome to 2025, where fireworks fade, and your glow reigns supreme. Number 8. The ground they stood on is shaking. Arrogance builds castles on sand, and when the tide of truth rises, even the mightiest crumble. Chosen one, the very ground beneath their feet is trembling. They thought it was solid, did they not? They believed the lies they told, the illusions they wove, and the games they played would hold them steady forever. But truth does not just knock. It shakes the foundation of everything built on deception. And now, as 2025 dawns, the ground they stood on is splitting, cracking wide open to reveal the hollow core beneath their confidence. For too long, they stood tall, looking down at you with smug certainty. They planted their flags on high ground, claiming it as their own, mocking you as you climbed. But what they did not realize was this. Their ground was never theirs to keep. Every step they took, every false word they used to steady themselves, was another crack forming beneath them. Now, the earth beneath their arrogance is shifting, and the only thing keeping them upright is the denial they cling to like a lifeline. You might ask, why now? Why not sooner? Because truth is patient. It waits for the perfect moment to strike. The ground does not shake for no reason. It moves when the weight of lies becomes unbearable. That weight is crushing them now, forcing them to confront the truth they have been running from. The truth is not just your rise. It is their fall. And it is not coming. It is already here. Imagine their foundation as a house built on sand. It looked sturdy from the outside, did it not? But with every storm, every challenge, and every reminder of your resilience, the cracks grew wider. Now the tide is in, washing away every illusion they built to protect themselves. They stood on their ground like kings, but kings fall hardest when the earth betrays them. That is what they are feeling now. The betrayal of their own arrogance, the collapse of everything they thought would last forever. And you? You are not just standing on solid ground, you built it with your own hands. While they were busy mocking your climb, you were laying stones, brick by brick, building a foundation that no quake can touch. Now, as their world shakes, you rise higher, watching their castles crumble from a vantage point they never thought you would reach. Their questions will haunt them. How did we not see this coming? How did they rise while we fell? But the answers no longer matter. What matters is the undeniable truth. The ground they stood on is gone, and the only thing left is the reckoning they tried so hard to avoid. Let them stand in the rubble, chosen one. Let them feel the tremors of every false step, every arrogant move, and every attempt to bring you down. While their world collapses, yours is only beginning. The ground they stood on is shaking, and the only thing they can do is watch as you rise, steady and unstoppable. Welcome to 2025. Number 9. The light they tried to dim now blinds them. The harder they tried to dim your light, the brighter it burned. Now it is not just shining, it is blinding. Chosen one, this is the moment they feared, the one they never thought would come. The light they spent last year trying to snuff out with their lies, schemes, and mockery has not just survived. It is thriving. It is blinding now, a radiant force they cannot escape, cannot ignore, and cannot look away from. They thought they could bury brilliance, but they forgot. Light does not disappear. It intensifies. Every attempt they made to dim you only fed your fire. Every word of doubt, every roadblock, every calculated move to suppress you became fuel for the radiance they now cannot withstand. This is your year to rise, to claim your brilliance, and to let your light blind those who tried to keep you in the shadows. Welcome to 2025, where their fleeting moments fade, and your light reigns supreme. Every move they made to cast shadows on your path was nothing more than fuel for your fire. They wanted you to believe that you were small, insignificant, and unworthy of shining. But look at you now, standing brighter than ever, illuminating everything around you with undeniable brilliance. Now, they cannot even open their eyes without being confronted by the truth they worked so tirelessly to deny. You were never meant to be hidden, and no scheme of theirs could ever keep your light from breaking through. Think of how they operated last year. They always lingered in the shadows, plotting and scheming, attempting to turn the world against you. They whispered lies in the dark, convinced their shadows could smother your flame. But light does not bow to darkness. It pierces through it. And now, every lie they told, every plan they laid, has been exposed under the brilliance of your rise. They are stumbling now, blinded by the very light they thought they could dim. You might wonder, why could they not see it before? Because arrogance blinds. They were too consumed by their own narratives, too busy convincing themselves that their noise could outlast your truth. They failed to grasp one simple fact. Light does not need permission to shine. It is relentless, unapologetic, and unstoppable. And now, their blindness is not just a consequence. It is their reckoning. They cannot escape what you have become, because your light surrounds them, exposes them, and leaves them nowhere to hide. Their voices are quiet now, are they not? The sneers, the laughter, the mockery. All of it has vanished. All that remains is the uncomfortable silence of realization. They see you everywhere now, in every space they tried to claim, in every corner they thought they had dominated. Your light is not just shining. It is revealing. It is forcing them to confront what they tried so hard to ignore. Your strength, your resilience, your undeniable rise. Let them sit with their discomfort, chosen one. Let them wrestle with the shadows they once believed could consume you. Their efforts have failed, and now they are left blinded, scrambling to make sense of a truth they can no longer deny. This is not just your light. It is their reckoning. So shine unapologetically. Shine brighter than ever. The light they tried to dim now blinds them, and their discomfort is not your burden to bear. Welcome to 2025, the year your brilliance transforms every shadow into a spotlight they cannot escape. This is your year, and your light reigns supreme. Number 10. Your justice is their New Year's reality. The truth they ignored has now become the justice they cannot escape. It does not knock politely. It bursts through the door, Chosen one, this year justice does not ask for permission. It does not whisper or wait. It declares itself boldly, stepping into their world like a storm they never saw coming. Your justice is not a quiet reckoning. It is a reality they can no longer deny. The truth they buried last year has risen, and now it is the New Year's gift they did not want but cannot return. They spent the past year weaving lies, building walls of arrogance, and crafting schemes, believing they were untouchable. They thought their games would shield them, that their version of events would stand unchallenged. But justice has a way of catching up no matter how fast they try to run. And now, as the clock resets and 2025 dawns, their carefully constructed illusions are shattering under the weight of your truth. They are not starting this year with celebration. They are starting it with the reality of what they have done. They might wonder, why now? Why this year? Because justice does not arrive when it is convenient. It arrives when it is undeniable. It waited for the moment when the tables had fully turned, when their lies could no longer withstand the light of your rise. This is not mere karma. It is the balance they never thought they would have to face. Your justice is not petty revenge. It is the natural consequence of everything they tried to deny. Picture this year as a mirror. One by one, their illusions crack, reflecting the undeniable truth of your ascent and their descent. Justice does not ask. It declares. And this year it declares you victorious. They cannot look away now. Every lie they told, every scheme they plotted, and every doubt they cast are all staring back at them, etched across the days ahead like an unrelenting shadow they cannot escape. Their New Year's reality is not filled with hope or promise. It is filled with the echoes of their own choices. They long to start the year fresh, but justice does not forget, and it does not forgive. And you? Your justice is not about looking back. It is about stepping forward. While they wrestle with the weight of their own actions, you are rising above it all, unshaken and unstoppable. This year is not just your victory. It is their reckoning. They will spend the year grappling with questions they would rather avoid. How did we lose control? How did they rise when we tried so hard to hold them down? Let them wrestle with their reality, chosen one. Let them live with the consequences of underestimating you. Their reality is the justice they never anticipated, and your rise is the truth they can no longer deny. This year, their New Year's resolutions are meaningless against the backdrop of what has already been decided. Justice is here and it belongs to you. Welcome to 2025, where your triumph is undeniable, and their reckoning has only just begun. Number 11. Echoes of their empty cheers. Their applause was never for you. It was the sound of their own arrogance clapping for a victory they thought they had stolen. Chosen one, listen closely. Can you hear it? The hollow sound of cheers that once filled the air, now fading into nothingness. Last year, they clapped for your supposed failures, cheered for the moments they thought marked your defeat. Their celebrations were loud, brazen, and filled with the empty confidence of people who underestimated you. But now, their cheers are nothing more than echoes, haunting reminders of how wrong they were. They thought they had won. They reveled in their own noise, believing their mockery could drown out your strength. But what they failed to realize was this: noise is fleeting, and truth is eternal. Their applause was not rooted in substance. It was fueled by desperation, a desperate attempt to convince themselves their schemes had worked. But now, as the new year dawns, those cheers are hollow and meaningless. Imagine their celebrations like a party in a crumbling house. The music was loud, the laughter deafening, but the foundation was rotten, and now it has collapsed. Their cheers, once thunderous, now echo in an empty void, bouncing off the walls of their regret. They cheered for your fall, but all they did was highlight the strength you gained by rising. You might wonder, why were they so loud? Why did they celebrate so much? Because their noise was not about you. It was about them. It was their way of masking their fear, their doubt, and their knowledge that they could never truly stop you. They clapped not because they had won, but because they were trying to convince themselves they had. And now, the silence they sit in is deafening. Their echoes are a testament to the emptiness of their actions. Every laugh they shared, Every mockery they spread, every celebration they held at your expense has returned to haunt them. Those echoes do not just remind them of their arrogance. They remind them of your resilience. They tried to write your ending, but the sound of your rise has drowned out their hollow applause. Let them sit with those echoes, chosen one. Let them hear the sound of their own failure reverberating in the silence they created. Their cheers meant nothing because they were never based on truth. But your triumph? It is undeniable. It does not need applause to validate it. It stands on its own, unshakable and eternal. This year, their empty cheers are nothing more than ghosts of a victory that was never theirs. While their echoes fade, your name rises louder than their noise ever could. Welcome to 2025, the year where their applause is forgotten and your truth becomes unforgettable. Let the echoes remind them of their mistakes. They cannot drown out the roar of your triumph. Number 12. The sunrise they cannot escape. The night always believes it can last forever until the sunrise proves it wrong. Chosen one, their long night has ended. For too long, they hid in the darkness, scheming in shadows, pretending the light would never come. They thought the world would never see their actions, that the truth would remain buried, hidden beneath layers of deception. But the dawn does not wait for permission. It breaks through, relentless and radiant, casting away the night and exposing everything it sought to conceal. Their illusions thrived in the dark, fed by lies and fueled by arrogance. They believed they were safe, untouched by accountability. But as the sunrise stretches across the horizon, their illusions are crumbling. Every scheme, every falsehood, every shadowy maneuver is laid bare under the unyielding light of your truth. The world sees now what they tried so hard to obscure. Let them face the sunrise, chosen one. Let them squint and shield their eyes, unable to hide from the brilliance of your rise. The light they thought they could extinguish has become the dawn they cannot escape. And you, standing tall as the day breaks, are the undeniable proof that truth always triumphs. Welcome to 2025, where the sunrise marks the end of their night and the beginning of your reign. Their whispers were meant to drown out your voice, to silence your presence, and to bury your truth. Yet, here you stand, unshaken and unwavering, as the sun rises on your triumph. The light has arrived, unrelenting and inescapable. The sunrise marks not just the end of their games but the revelation of everything they desperately tried to hide. While they schemed in the darkness, spinning lies and planting doubts, hoping to shroud you in defeat, you were building, growing, and preparing for this moment. The darkness they relied on has been obliterated, burned away by a light so powerful it leaves no shadow for them to hide in. Now they stand exposed, unable to run, unable to deny what has been true all along. You were never defeated. You were only waiting. Picture the sunrise. Inevitable, unyielding, and breathtaking. It does not ask for permission, nor does it wait for acknowledgement. It simply rises, casting its light across everything in its path. That is you. That is your journey. They thought their night would last forever, but your sunrise has arrived, illuminating every corner of their arrogance, every hidden intention, every false word. All is laid bare under the radiant glow of your rise. You might wonder, why now? Why this moment? Because the sunrise does not come early, nor does it come late. It arrives precisely when the darkness can no longer hold on. That moment is now. They cannot retreat into the shadows. They have vanished. They cannot turn away from the light. It is everywhere. The sunrise is not merely the end of their schemes. It is the beginning of your reign. They are squinting now, struggling to adjust, scrambling to find their footing, and attempting to rewrite the story they told themselves. But there is no escaping it. Every step they took to dim you, every word they spoke to belittle you, every plan they made to undermine you. It is all visible now, glowing under the harsh and undeniable truth of your rise. The sunrise does more than light up the world. It reveals the wreckage of the night. Let them stumble, chosen one. Let them wrestle with the brightness of the truth they tried so hard to deny. This is not just a new day. It is your day. The darkness they depended on is gone. and you stand in the full brilliance of a light they cannot escape. This is 2025, and the sunrise they dreaded has arrived. They cannot turn back the clock, and they cannot stop the dawn. The truth is here, undeniable and unstoppable. The night is over. The day belongs to you. Shine, chosen one. The world is watching, and there is no hiding from your light now. The time has come. 2025 is yours to claim. A year of truth, triumph, and unstoppable light. The battles of the past have shaped you. The reckoning has arrived, and now the world must bear witness to your rise. This is not just another new year. It is the dawn of your legacy. The night is over, the case is closed, and the victory is undeniably yours. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them see the brilliance they can never dim. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to embrace its power. Smash that like button, subscribe to stay connected, and drop 77 in the comments if you are ready to own this year. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Together, let us rise into the light of a new dawn.